my back blown out in peace. You think I got time to talk about a divorce that's a year old?
Nobody saw it coming. 1 minute, Teyana Taylor was smiling, glowing even, standing hand in hand with Aaron Pierre on that red carpet, looking like she had finally found peace after a roller coaster of heartbreak. The next, the internet exploded, with whispers, screenshots, and one explosive message from a woman who said she had the real truth. And just like that, what looked like a fairy tale turned into something darker, something messier than anyone imagined. It all started so innocently. When news first broke that Tiana and Iman had quietly gone their separate ways, fans were heartbroken, but not shocked. Their relationship had shown cracks, and even though they tried to keep it private, something always felt off toward the end. People thought Teyana would take time to heal, maybe stay single, focus on her kids, her art, her music. But instead, she re-emerged not long after with someone unexpected by her side, British actor Aaron Pierre. A man most people didn't know much about, but suddenly, everyone had questions. At first, it felt like a fresh chapter. Aaron wasn't flashy. He wasn't a rapper or an athlete or part of her past circles. He seemed calm, composed, even protective. The way he stood next to her in public, not saying much, just letting her shine, it made people believe this could be real. This could be healing. And after everything she'd been through with Iman, the fans were ready to root for her. They needed this win just as much as she did. Their debut moment came during that major awards show, Teyana in a bold, jaw-dropping outfit, and Aaron in a clean, classic look. They walked hand in hand, not hiding, not playing coy. It was their way of saying, yeah, we're here. Photos of them went viral. Blogs rushed to put together timelines. Fans dissected every glance, every whisper, every coordinated outfit. And surprisingly, the reception was mostly positive. People said she looked happy again. That glow was undeniable. For a while, it stayed that way. Social media posts painted a picture of ease, Aaron with her kids, private dinners, quiet vacations. Nothing over the top, but enough to suggest stability. Teyana even started teasing new creative projects again. It was as if this new relationship gave her back a piece of herself. And just when everyone started settling into this new narrative of Teyana finally found a good man, the internet did what it always does. It dug deeper. And this time, it unearthed a storm. It started small, like it always does. A cryptic Instagram story, a post that looked harmless at first, just a black screen with white letters. Some of y'all falling for the same lies he told me. No name, no tag, nothing direct. But the internet moves fast and fans move faster. Within hours, fingers were pointing at Aaron. Speculation went wild. Could it be about him? Was someone from his past speaking up now that he was in the spotlight? Then, the second post dropped. And this one had no room for guessing. It was a screenshot, an old photo of Aaron with another woman, time-stamped and location tagged. Then came the caption, "He told me he loved me while he was already with her." The comments lit up instantly. People demanded names, connections, explanations. But she didn't stop there. She posted more. DMs, texts, old video clips, and suddenly everything started to unravel. The woman, his ex, who had stayed quiet for months, revealed a story that didn't match the one Teyana had been living. She claimed Aaron never fully ended things with her, that while he was publicly wooing Teyana, he was still sending flirty messages, checking in late at night, even planning visits. She said he used her for comfort while chasing Teyana for clout. And just like that, the love story fans thought was finally drama-free turned into something else entirely. The most damning piece wasn't just the messages or the overlapping dates, it was the tone. The ex didn't sound angry. She sounded tired, broken even, as if this wasn't about jealousy, it was about betrayal. She wrote, "He told me I was too low-key. He said he needed someone louder to match his career moves. I didn't realize he meant her. I didn't realize I was just the placeholder until he could upgrade." Fans couldn't believe it. Not Aaron. Not the quiet, mysterious guy who seemed so protective of Teyana. But as the screenshots kept coming, the truth became harder to ignore. One particularly haunting text showed Aaron allegedly telling his ex, "Don't worry, it's all for optics." That line, "It's all for optics," circulated like wildfire. It became the headline, the quote that stuck. If it was true, it meant this whole thing wasn't real. Not the relationship, not the red carpet, not the family dinners, nothing. And while the internet debated, picked sides, and searched for more clues, Teyana went silent. That silence spoke volumes. She didn't post, she didn't like or comment. Her usual witty captions and empowering quotes disappeared. For someone who always stayed classy, even during drama, this time felt different. The absence was loud. Then fans noticed something else. A few photos of Aaron quietly vanished from her page. Not all, but just enough to get people asking questions. Stories started swirling. Insiders claimed Teyana was blindsided. That she had no idea about the overlapping timelines. That she had trusted Aaron fully, brought him around her children, even opened up parts of herself she had kept locked away since the Iman breakup. One source said, "She thought he was safe. She thought he was healing. Turns out he was just hiding. And the worst part? The betrayal didn't come with a confession. Aaron didn't own up, didn't apologize, didn't even deny it properly." When the backlash started building, his only response was a vague Instagram story. "People love drama. I know my truth." That was it. No clarity, no compassion, just a sentence that felt like deflection. That post only made things worse. Comment sections filled with anger. Fans called him manipulative. Blogs labeled him a professional heartbreaker. People who once saw him as a soft-spoken artist now called him a fame hunter. But the real sting came from Teyana's circle. Because when her people start speaking, you know it's personal. Her sister posted a cryptic tweet. "Tired of these dudes embarrassing my sister." It was up for only 10 minutes before being deleted, but it was enough. Screenshots flooded, and the timeline went wild. Then her close friend, someone she's often seen with in public, left a subtle but pointed comment under a gossip blog post. She gave him everything, he gave her PR damage. That's when fans really started putting things together. They revisited the way Teyana had handled her split from Iman, with grace, even when the rumors were swirling. She never aired dirty laundry, never tried to humiliate him. She protected their image for the sake of peace. And now, here she was again, having to carry the fallout of a man's lies. The community around her rallied hard. People started using hashtags like Ayn Protect Teyana and a She Deserves Peace. TikToks flooded in, compilations of her strongest moments, clips from her past interviews where she spoke about loyalty and healing. And still, no word from Aaron, no denial, no apology. Just silence that felt like guilt. What made everything worse was how familiar it all felt. Teyana had just escaped one exhausting chapter. She had rebuilt herself from the ground up, stayed present for her kids, kept her dignity. And yet here, she was again, having to deal with whispers, betrayal, and public embarrassment. The pattern was too clear to ignore. Some fans began drawing comparisons between Aaron and Iman. Not in personality, but in impact. Both had Teyana at her highest, then somehow left her lower. One gave her chaos, the other gave her silence. But the pain hit the same. And while Aaron didn't have a scandalous public record like Iman, some started digging. Suddenly, old interviews and cryptic posts from other women started surfacing. Nothing concrete, but enough to make you wonder if this wasn't the first. Time he played it smooth until it suited him, but the real heartbreak was in what this meant for Teyana's trust. For her peace. Because when you finally let someone in after being hurt, when you believe again, it takes courage. And to have that courage thrown back at you with lies, with manipulation, that's a different kind of pain. Just when it seemed things couldn't get worse, part 2 hit harder. Aaron's ex went live, and it wasn't loud, it was chilling. No rage, just heartbreak. "I didn't come here to destroy him," she said. "I came to protect the next woman." That line changed everything. This wasn't bitterness, it was warning. She claimed Aaron didn't fall in love, he strategized. That he saw Teyana not as a partner, but as a platform. He told me, "This next move is bigger than love. It's about alignment. The internet exploded. That word, tool, sliced deep. For fans who'd watched Teyana reclaim her joy, it felt like betrayal on every level. Because now it looked like Aaron never loved her. He used her light to chase his own. What shattered people most was what followed. Teyana shared an old voice note. Aaron's voice, calm and calculated. He spoke of press strategies, of wanting to appear more desirable to American audiences, of how a good relationship moment wins hearts. No names, but the timing fit. It was never love, it was image. Every public smile, every date, staged. Then came a quiet blog statement, allegedly from someone close to Aaron's team. Aaron's personal life has unfortunately become a distraction. No apology, no ownership, just cold PR. Teyana stayed silent until she posted a photo. Her daughters in her arms, eyes closed, a soft defiance. But peace was short-lived. A longtime stylist posted, "We warned her, but love makes smart women deaf." And the internet exploded. Then an old podcast clip resurfaced. Aaron, when asked about being in a relationship, smirked and said, "I'm exploring options." It aired after his public debut with Teyana, sparking questions. Was she ever truly his partner, or just an option? But the deepest cut wasn't the lies. It was that she had brought him into her daughters' lives, trusted him, believed he was safe. Then came whispers. Aaron showing up uninvited at a school event, teachers mistaking him for a step-parent. And worse, leaked documents suggesting he had quietly inquired about legal step-parent rights, just days before his ex went public. For Teyana, it wasn't just betrayal, it was invasion. A calculated attempt to embed himself in her world, while living a double life.